This is our 64, 65 Campus 60 or the other 60. Just picked this up yesterday. What is it when you coming up the yard killing them? Huh?
Okay, so.
Remember, kick back.
Yeah. Okay, neutral? I can't tell.
The light will light up green. Here. I guess it's on.
I can't tell. Alright, okay. So I gotta give it gas.
Yes, baby.
Dang it.
You have to give it gas.
Hold on. I still can't tell if it's a neutral.
Yeah, that light's hard to see.
I'm rolling. Get off this little hill.
Good thing it and you were light. Oh, sorry. You have a video of your butt.
Woohoo!
I think I need to adjust the idle up a little bit too.
Yeah,
What are you doing, man?
I don't know. It's in gear.
No, clutch.
It won't let you.
Yeah, you can't kick it with the clutch in.
It's in gear.
Here, let me see it. Maybe you're trying to start off in second.
I think I am.
Remember, let the clutch handle out.
Okay. Am I in neutral? Maybe I'm kicking the gas too much.
Yeah, you might be. It's not bad. I don't know. Let me see. I'll pause our video. Howdy, folks. All right, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take a video of this. This is the, let me back up here. This is the 1964-65 Yamaha Campus 60. So what I'm getting ready to do is start taking this thing apart so we can do a complete sand down, paint. Still got to check on getting the tank re-chromed and if that's going to be feasible. As you can see in these pictures here, it's pitted up pretty good. There's no fixing that. And then the handlebars right through here, they're pitted pretty good. Right through here. See if how much it's going to cost to get this stuff re-chromed. I think there's a place up in Ohio that does it. So I need to call them probably Monday. And gas cap here, it's got some pitting on it. So these here, this is the side of the air filter. That's chromed as well. I have tried to powder coat these, but it's a very thin, almost tin-like metal. And the powder coat doesn't like to stick, it likes to bubble up on it. And of course the rims, I think we're just going to leave the rims as they are. We'll clean them up some more with some SOS pads or steel wool, 000 steel wool. See how we can get those to go. But if it's too cost prohibitive to get these tanks re-chromed, then I'm just going to probably just paint them a bright silver color. Our plan is to paint the whole frame black, fenders, forks, the rear swing arm, the tank sides, unless she changes her mind and decides to go with silver on the sides here. But anyway, I'm just kind of going to do a little video of the bike as it is right now, for you guys and for me. So when I'm taking this thing apart and I'm putting it back together, I've got things to reference, even though it's pretty much identical to the Trailmaster 80 in the way everything goes together. So I don't really foresee any issues. The tailpipe actually looks pretty good. We might could send that off. Like I said, if it ain't too expensive, to have some of this stuff re-chromed. I mean, I don't know what the value of this thing is. I mean, we have no intentions of selling this. They're a blast to ride. I mean, they're not that super fast. I mean, maybe 40, 45 miles an hour. But they're just super fun to ride. And they're totally retro. So that's really cool. But the header pipe ain't too bad looking. Runs fine. I do have a new clutch kit for it because the clutch is slipping pretty bad. So I'll replace that while I got the engine out. And then I want to take a look at, since these engines are identical, even though this is a 60cc, the Trailmaster is an 80cc, it's the same exact engine. And I know the Trailmaster has an issue with going from second to fourth. And it's liking to skip third unless you do an upshift. And then it goes fine. But minor. So I'm just videoing everything, like I said, for myself here. We got a little bit of pitting on the forks here, nothing too bad. I should be able to get some steel wool on that, clean those up pretty good. It ain't going to be a show bike by any stretch, but I want it to look good. I stole the headlight bulb out of it for the Honda Express, which is alive, runs, and rides. So I'm going to do another video on that. It's pretty cool. So, but anyway, we've got 5,078 original miles on this thing. I do have turn signals for it, so I will be wiring those up once I get everything back together. These are the new shocks we got. I'll take the sticker here off, and I'm debating if I want to paint these black, since the body's going to be black, or leave them that gray color. But anyway, I'm going to try to document more of this as I go. This time, unlike the Trailmaster, it's kind of hard to show stuff when I'm painting and everything here because I want to get paint on the cameras. So, but this one here still has the original kick things here, or the side knee guard things, and it's got the original emblems here. We'll try to clean those up a little bit. But this is a 4-speed, so clutch. It's not a semi-automatic, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, that's where I am for now. And like I said, I just wanted to get a video of some of the placement of things, which it's all pretty straightforward. The only thing when I was working on the Trailmaster was kind of this setup down here, which is your brake. This is your brake switch is inside here. And then obviously your swing arm. Then you got a bolt down here. Let me find my fat finger. Got a bolt right here for the engine, bolt right there for the engine, and then you have this bolt right here, which attaches to the air cleaner. And then I will take this side cover off, and the carb and the choke are right down in there. Actually, let's see if I can take this off while I'm holding this camera. That way I can kind of show you guys what I'm looking at in here, because all this is, I got to take this off anyway to disconnect the cables so I can drop the engine out of it. I should have set my tripod up, but I didn't. So we'll wing it. There's only 4 bolts to hold this on. I think this one, I don't know if you put sealant on. There we go. It's off. Let me lose my bolts here. Okay, so on here what you're looking at, this is your oil injection right here, and your carburetor sitting right here. So I have to take off the clutch cable right here. This is a Y cable that goes up to the throttle. So it turns the same time as you're giving it gas. For the oil injection, I'll have to disconnect that. This is obviously your throttle cable, and this is the choke right there. And there is a screw that comes in through a little hole right here on the side, and you can loosen one bolt, take the whole thing out. Here's your fuel line right here, which goes up through this plate right here, which I'll take this side cover off, open this out, and then disconnect the fuel line from the tank. And then, let's see here, disconnect the spark plug, and that's pretty much it. I may go ahead and drain the oil out of it since I got it sitting here. And because like I said, I'm going to do the clutch while I got the engine out, and I'm prepping the body. So, but that's where we are at the moment. So stay tuned for more exciting stuff. Be back in a bit. All right. Well, I decided, you know, and I normally don't record a lot of the stuff that I do. I kind of do it and then record after the fact. So I think I'm going to change things up again while I get photobombed by Daisy the cat, and show taking the engine out of this Campus 60. And it's really not a complicated procedure, and I would like to have music playing in the background like I always do when I'm doing stuff, but royalty stuff. So anyway, I will start by just, hopefully this is going to capture some of this. I've got it on my camcorder here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the carb out. So we got a little plug here, and I got my bags here, right here. I got Daisy the cat, who is always such a big help. She's cat dog, and I believe that is a 10 millimeter inside there. And so let's see here. Nope, actually, it's not a 10 millimeter. That is a Phillips or a flathead. My bad. Okay, so let's loosen that up. Okay, yes, the fuel is shut off. Okay, so let's disconnect the fuel line. Pretty straightforward. I got a few tools laid out here. I'm sure I'll need something else. I'll probably have some fuel and stuff dripping. So as you can see, here's your carburetor. Nothing too exciting with that. So what I'll do is just take it apart, pull the slide out, pull the choke off. And then I'll just set that in my bag of stuff. All right, we have one carb. Let me put that in my bag. Okay. Yeah. I'll go ahead and leave the slide attached, and pull that out a little bit later. Now what I'm going to do is just disconnect the oil injection. Get all that readjusted once we're back to that point, which took me a few months, more than, because I always got a million projects going on, so I jump from one thing to the other. So I promised myself on this one, I'm going to do this and focus on one thing at a time, instead of bouncing from this project to, say, the Express, which is, you know, pretty much done, to this bike behind the camera here, which is the Bashan 200, which I gotta adjust the forks on it. It rides fine, runs fine, but it seems like the steering is a little bit crooked when driving down the road, so I gotta readjust that, because when I got it, they had the forks raised up about now 4 inches higher than the triple tree. So anyway, that's another project, but it runs fine. So now I will just focus on this, and this is going to be a pain to get that up. Get that out of there. Probably just be easier to take the damn thing off. Let's see here. What is that? That's supposed to be another 10. Because all this is going to be readjusted anyway, so doesn't matter. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you can see in this picture here where my finger's pointing. This is how you actually adjust the clutch. You just loosen this here. You turn this screw right here. You turn it till it gets tight, just a little snug, and then you back it off about a quarter of a turn. You tighten your lock nut down, and that is how you adjust out the clutch. Super simple. So I'm just going to take this little mechanism off here so I can take off the cable. And there is a shifter seal sitting behind. I don't know if you can see it on the camera here, right behind my finger here. There's a little seal that goes back there. This one's good, it doesn't leak, but the Trailmaster was leaking, so I ended up replacing it. So we got this disconnected. I'll put that back on so I don't lose it. But like I said, while I got the engine out, I'm going to replace the clutch, and that's about it. Other than that, this thing runs fine. Yeah, thanks. So this is a little different setup. That's not, I guess I can turn that off of here. Yeah, I have to remember how that goes, because this is a little bit different than the, I don't want to lose that. So I'll put that in a box for card pieces in the bag. And so that's disconnected. Alright, there's Daisy the cat. Alright, let's put this back in here for just for the time being. Don't want to lose no parts. Okay. So carburetor is disconnected, choke's disconnected, clutch is disconnected. So let's go ahead and take off the air cleaner. Probably a 10. Let's see here. Yep. I'll show you how this works. You got double dudded on the other side. Sorry, I'm showing my back to you guys. You got a 10 and then you got a 12, where they had a 10 and a 12. Okay. That piece will go dropping here in a sec. Heard that washer come down. Alright, where'd that go? We have the air filter here. Show you on the camera here. These you cannot get. Nobody makes them anymore, so if you get your hands on one, I mean, I guess you could fashion something out of foam, but these are definitely, what do they call that, unobtainable. So where did I put my other nuts? There you go. Drop that in the bag. Our goodies. Yeah, I'm usually pretty bad at not marking what. I need a gallon bag for that. Get the seal close enough so the screws won't fall out. Okay. That's good. With carb, we're good there. Okay. Oil pump can stay on for now. When I get to the point and I'm going to do the clutch, the oil pump does have to come off. And it's pretty simple. There's a bolt up here, and there should be another one up under there somewhere. Yeah, there it is, right there where my finger is going in. Excuse me. There's two bolts there. Then you release the oil line over here, and this whole thing slides out. It's pretty complicated looking at the instructions for it, but how it works is pretty simple. So, and there are a couple of seals in here. The Trailmaster, there's one you take off this top nut here and lift it out, and there's a seal there, and there's one down closer to the bottom. The top seal was leaking, so I replaced that. Okay, so what we got now is that is disconnected. Oh, I'm not going to move the camera, but there is the header for the exhaust. You want one of these things here. I can't remember what the hell they're called, but they're adjustable, and you need this kind of contraption or just a screwdriver and whack it with a hammer to tighten or loosen the header bolt. So I'll just put it on here. These work really good, and they also work good for your triple tree bolts. So I will try to remember to put a link in the description for what it's called. It's a spanner of some sort, British term. So all I'm doing now is I'm loosening the exhaust manifold. And this ain't no race, so. That's loose. Now, I have no idea what size that is over here. Let's see, about 14 maybe. Let's see. I don't know. Let me socket in there. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's try 14. Yep, 14. So that is a bolt and a lock washer. And then there is one other one down here, which I'll get here in a sec. That's to be a honking bolt. Put that back in so I don't lose it. Alright. Let's go over here. We got 14 too. Extension. Okay, that is just a nut, lock washer, want to lose that. And there's a spacer washer behind it. Actually, there's two spacers there. One with the exhaust manifold doohickey. So there's the exhaust pipe. It's off. So I'm going to take that and set that over here. And then I will put all of these, actually, let me put them inside there so I don't lose them. So we'll put that in a bag. I'll label that one exhaust because sure as crap stinks. I forget what they go to. Okay, so alright, so we got exhaust. Okay, so those look to be 14 millimeter as well. Here. And see if I can pop these free on this side. Nope, my bad. 12. Or 13. Yeah. 13 mil. Yeah, I know this is probably ridiculous, but you know I got sandwich bags. I'll probably use those, but so well, we got a Sam's account, right? So we can buy a F-ton 1000 sandwich bags. So this is the air filter bolt, and it's bagged. Alright, then we got this top frame bolt. No, I'm not removing the shifter. No need to yet. I'll be when I where is that at? Oh, I think I gotta remove that chain guard. I'm hoping to do this without removing the side covers. They're on the other side. But I believe it's going to hit. Oh, man. That sucks. Okay, well, can I with this bottom one? Maybe. Yeah. I can remove the bottom one where the stand is, but then I'll have to take off the magneto cover on this side in order to access that stupid bolt. So let me go ahead and loosen this bolt. Uh-oh. Heaters, come on. Okay. So, those two are the frame bolts. That one I'll be able to pull right out. So, let me get my handy dandy JIS Phillips. That's the Japanese industrial standard. For those who are not in the know, wiggle this hinge a little bit. Uh-oh. Daisy the cat. Okay. That one's that one. This will come off now, so let me move my shit out of the way. Here's your foot peg. Yeah. One Campus 60 foot peg. Footrests, I should say. We'll set that on top of our box over there. Okay, now let's see if go ahead and do a frame bolts. Frame bolts. Pretty exciting. Okay, I'm gonna go over to the other side. Yeah, guess I could swing this camera around. It's really nothing too exciting, but I'm gonna slide this back up in here. That way, I'll roll it up a little bit. I mean, engine's not all that heavy, but shit. One thing I did forget was the oil line. Okay, well, I don't really want to remove the oil pump. So, let's see here, how full is this oil here? This is probably pretty empty. Good thing I haven't ridden it lately. I'm gonna burn the engine up. Oh, well, that's nice. Got a freaking cotter pin in there. What a bunch of hokey crap. That should be a screw through there, not a freaking cotter pin. Let's see if I can pop this out. Yeah, I'm not too worried about a few little scratches because this thing is going to be sanded anyway. There you go. There. Okay. No, actually that thing is quite full. Okay, so we'll set that there for the moment. I need to, I'll have to drain that oil out. I just drained the oil out of the engine, so I will go get my oil pan, doohickey, and this is, you know what, I got some screws, some 4mm screws coming for something else, and I got a bolt kit coming, so I think that'll take a 4mm, so I'll run that through there when I get those. So let me get the oil drain. We'll set this over here, pile of parts. What's up, cat dog? Alright, let's just go ahead and bring you all out of here. Then I can just disconnect that oil line, leave it attached to the engine. See how much of a mess I can not make. What the hell? He must be running Yamaha lube in that. Well, he must have had Yamaha lube in it because that's blue. Doesn't call for that. I think it calls for regular like 10W30. I didn't make too much of a mess. And it is a garage, right? But I will research that because it really don't smoke much, so maybe that's a good foot. What do I know? Let's see if I can pop this off here. Ooh. Okay. We have one oil lubrication thing disconnected. Yes, I do have the fuel shut off because there is still fuel in the tank. All right, we're making progress. Get a paper towel. Actually, let me get a shop rag. Only got 1,000 of them. And I can wash it, right? Good for Mother Nature. And the grumpy pile heap. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to move the camera over here. Get a picture on this side here. I'm going to be working on that little thing down there. Let me get my trusty JIS screwdriver. Alright. And if it ain't one thing, it's another. Alright, that should be a 10 mil. Take off the shifter, which, by the way, if anybody wants to know, even though these are pretty much identical engines, this shifter is different than the one of the Trailmaster. And I ordered one from Revzilla that was specifically for the Trailmaster. They actually had it. It was like $50. And I was like, okay, well, I want it because I want it to be original, and the damn thing did not fit. So that sucked. Wasn't too happy with that. So I put a regular shifter from a, dare I say it, Chinese Hawk 250 that I had laying around, and I bent it to fit, and it works perfect. So I should have just done that to begin with, save myself some money. Come on. Get in there. Pretty exciting stuff. Okay, throw this over here with the pile of goodies. Okay, let's get this cover off here. And then, while I'm over here on this side, I guess I can take this chain guard off. It's gonna need a little bit of love. Got a little bit of rust right on the back here. Once I pull it off, I'll show you guys. It's not bad. Oh, don't even tell me. Got it. I got replacement bolts somewhere. So I ain't too worried about that. Another one down here. Oh, I hate when people strip shit back on stuff. And then put it on so damn tight. It's just a stupid cover. It doesn't need to be that tight. Well, that ain't gonna work. So let me come over here to this little box and find my adjustable UMS blockers. Take my jacket off. Kind of warm in here. All right, let's see if we can break this loose. Plan C, the impact Phillips. Where did I put the impact Phillips? Now we'll try whacking it with a tiny hammer here. See what we come up with. So, for anybody who is not familiar with what this thing is, it is an impact Phillips head. And we'll knock loose any bolt. And gotta keep a note to self. Note to self to replace these piece of shit stripped out screws. Okay, see, makes life a lot simpler and keeps you from stripping out your Phillips heads. This is a Tecton, got it on, it's an impact driver set. Looks like this. And it's got your ratchet head, so you can actually put an extension on it if you need to and you're in a tight spot. And it does come with flathead and Phillips. Simple enough. Alright, let's see if don't got that glued on there. The joys of working on stuff when other people have worked on it prior to you. Did you put some sort of sealant on this? Because it is super stuck. Unless I'm missing a screw somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might help. Jeez, oh Pete. What do you think, Chuck? Think the guy went nuts with the Phillips? There we go. Yeah, well, and I'm on camera too, so I'm being a little more efficient than I normally am. I normally just take things, throw them all over the place, and then go around searching for all my tools. Alright, so we'll set this for here. Interesting. This thing down here is quite an amazement and a contraption. I'll have to unhook the camera so I can kind of get a picture of it. I don't want to lose that piece. I'll put it back on once I get the engine out, but let me, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Let's see if I can unhook the camera here and zoom in. This is the shift mechanism, and I suspect on the Trailmaster, this is maybe the issue. Okay, this whole thing right here that I'm zooming in on, this is the fork assembly that when you hit the shifter, it changes the gears. And this one works just fine. So I'm wondering if, and this thing is like really, it just sits in here. I mean, and this screw here goes through the case, and that's what holds it in place. So my other one, there is a spring here. So let me get my camera, because I meant to take a picture of that mechanism to see if I was missing something, and then to explain why it's shifting from second into fourth, but then it goes right back into, if you kick down upshift, it goes right back into gear. So looking at this, there is there's a spring here, there's this clip that goes around that little, you can't see it on the video, but there's a screw that sits back in here where my finger is, And this thing right here where my finger is, that's a fork. And it goes up over the gear in here. So when you turn this, it actually kicks and it turns that gear. And I know this damn thing is going to fall out when I go to take this engine out. So I think what I may do is shove one of these engine bolts back in. So the side cover bolt back in so it doesn't fall out. My stupid phone takes pictures on its own. But yeah, this is a contraption. And my other one was broke, and I could not find anything online that described how this thing was set up. I knew this was your neutral indicator, but there's this screw right here where my finger is, and it's screwed all the way down. So, you know, like I said, I couldn't find anything on this, so I just kind of winged it and stuck it back together as best I could, and figure, you know, hope that it would shift, and it does. So, but I know this one's working good. So, get out of my camera there. And I'm going to put another bolt back in the bottom temporarily so I can take this one out, so then I can put the side cover on to keep this thing from falling out. So where did I put that long bolt? And let's see how successful I can be at this. Let's zoom back out. Back up a little bit. Okay, let's see here. This needs to go up. Okay, so if I take, so now this damn thing it's going to drop down. So let me put another bolt in the top part, or better yet, grab a crappy Phillips. Shove this through the air filter housing so the engine doesn't drop down. That way I can put this side cover back on and keep that piece from falling out. Maybe. Okay, that worked. Okay, now let's be very careful. Put this back through here. And I will take that chain guard cover off before I drop this engine down. I'm not going to go in there. Well, yes. Close enough. Now let's take this off. Yeah, I got it. Should buy, or actually use my impact, my electric impact. Take these off. Quicker. But you guys can always fast forward, right? Oh, you know what sucks is this thing right here is a little cover. It's just for the swing arm cover. Be damned. I bought one, put it on the Trailmaster, the 80. Drove down the street. Frickin' fell out. I have no idea where it went. I'll never see it again. So that sucked. Okay, so that is definitely going to be in the way. I swear, man, He-Man put these damn bolts on here. I'll set all this together so I don't lose it. There's one in the back. That's a flathead. And let's see here. I don't know if I'm in the frame or not. All I'm doing is we're removing this rear bolt for the chain guard. And I'm going to have to do some Bondo work on this puppy. Okay, so chain guard. Bottom part of the chain guard. What's on that damn thing? Got a freaking bolt through there. Yep. The Trailmaster just screwed in. It didn't have. Okay, so we can leave that for the time being because it's not going to be in the way of the engine dropping. But I guess I kind of need to take the chain off. Kind of forgot that step. Whoops. There it is. Okay. That. Let's see here. Give it a little tap, tap, tappy. Look at that. Come right off. It's amazing. There you go, guys. We have one chain removed. Look at that. It's amazing. Chain's actually, I don't know if you can see that, but aside from 1,000 million Chuck hairs, way to go, Chuck. It's pretty clean, but I will go ahead and probably end up soaking this thing. I'll just leave this out. Since I'm doing all this crap anyway, I'll set all this over here along with the chain guard, so I know that the chain and the chain guard are there. All right. Okay, I can go ahead and there is that. You know what? There is that plate. That thing. That thing right here. I don't know what it's bolted to in there. What is that bolted to? I was wondering when I had the Trailmaster where the hell this thing went. And it just, okay, it gets screwed in. It's just a little cover plate. And it won't come out because it's hitting the swing arm. And it should come out when I drop the engine. But that's what that thing is. So, okay. We'll deal with that later. Put these screws back in here. So then we don't, I hope that damn thing comes right out with it. That's a short one. That's a stupid ass long one. There it is. Oh, and by the way, I do not profess to be any expert. So I wing shit as I go. And that's pretty much it. If I don't know it, then I learn it. Or I try to learn it. Okay, so that's that. we've got the chain off. I've got the oil line on the other side disconnected. I've got the coil disconnected. Crap. I'm going to have to disconnect the wiring or the... Oh, let's take out the battery, guys. Whoops. See, I'm full of all kind of whoops. All right, then I'll take that off so we don't juice nothing here. I'll just leave that hang. Disconnect the battery. Okay, this wiring here goes into here, which will come back down through here, so I'll probably just go ahead and pull that out. Now, I'm not worried about the colors and stuff because they're all color coded and they're pretty straightforward to get back in. And besides, I'll rip all this shit off anyway. Pardon my French when I'm gonna paint. Oh, come on, let's see if we can get that here. Come on, come out. Look at that, look at that. Alright, hold on a minute, hold on. And I didn't break nothing. Go me. Alright, let's raise the jack up just a tad so I know we're sitting on it. Because, like I said, it's not all that heavy, but I wouldn't say it's exactly light. Okay, what do you guys think? I'm gonna just come right down. Got nothing in the way. Nothing in the way she moves. Alright, look at that. We have an engine. Okay, am I snug down? Snug down anything? Nope. Oh, yes, I am. A freaking fuel line. Okay. We'll set that over here. We'll come over here. Look at that. One bike minus an engine. And here is the engine right here. All 60 cc's of power. Not really. This thing's pretty slow, but it's fun. And it's not about going fast. It's about how much fun you have. So we're zoomed all the way out. All right, I think I'm gonna pause it here for a sec and well, what should we take off next? Stay tuned. I'll be right back.